it's all your fault. You know, it's all your fault. Every mistake that you've made, everything that's happening in your life right now, that it's all your fault. That's the best way to frame things in your mind if you want to win. And this is a lesson that I've had to learn the hard way over the years. But this is why I love entrepreneurship so much, because it's the best self-development journey that anyone could ever go on. When you're an entrepreneur, there's no one else to blame when things go wrong, when things aren't working, other than yourself, you know. And as painful as that can be sometimes, it can also be very empowering, because by being accountable and holding yourself accountable for mistakes and things that don't go your way, you actually give yourself power, because you can fix these things and you can control and determine the outcome by improving and making sure you don't make the same mistakes over and over again. So the best way to be in life is to hold yourself accountable, is to take the blame for everything. Many a time in my life, especially in my early years, I would blame other people. I'd blame anyone I could, really, when things didn't go how I wanted them to, because I would find blaming myself too painful, too difficult. And that was because I was young in the mind, and I wasn't fully matured yet. I wasn't tough enough to accept responsibility for things that went wrong. And I think many of us are guilty of this, and we try and blame everything other than ourselves, right? We blame other people, we blame timing, we blame the environment, you know. We'll blame everything that we possibly can other than ourselves. And what this does is it actually removes your power and takes away from the fact that you can actually change things and improve things. So by taking the blame, you can then say to yourself, okay, well, how do I stop this from happening again? What do I do to improve? You can write this down and ensure that that same mistake doesn't happen again. And then by doing that, you actually improve your skill set. So if you're watching this video and maybe you're blaming other people for mistakes that you've made, or maybe you're blaming other people for creating a difficult environment for you to thrive in, maybe you had a difficult upbringing, maybe you don't have the most productive environment around you now. These are difficult situations that can hold you back, but you've got a choice, you know. You can either moan and complain, or you can take the blame for 99% of things that go wrong, and you can make adjustments, you can make improvements, and you can change things. So that's what I've done over the years, and it's something that's definitely served me very well, just by taking accountability and saying, okay, that was my fault, how can I improve? Even if it wasn't actually my fault and it was one of my employees' faults, or it was a landlord's fault, I will assess the situation as if it's my fault, and then I'll write down, like, okay, how can I stop this from happening again? Well, maybe I didn't give that employee the best possible chance of succeeding. Maybe I didn't write down the exact steps I want them to do. Maybe I didn't give them a list of standard operating procedures for them to follow so that they could do the work to the same standard that I do it at. Maybe it was me. And by holding myself accountable rather than blaming other people, that gives me the power back and allows me to then make note of this error that's occurred and create a plan so that it doesn't happen again. And that's where your power is, right? So again, I think it comes down to removing your ego and just taking accountability, you know? It's definitely something that you learn as you grow older. I'm not a young little boy anymore, you know, I'm definitely an adult now. So I hold myself accountable, and I think most successful people do. And that's how they succeed, because they're always improving things, they're always iterating their behaviors, they're always learning from mistakes and making sure they don't happen repeatedly. And that's how you develop as an entrepreneur, as a human. That's how you improve your character. And I think that's how you win, you know? You always want to be in a position where you have the control, you have the power. And by blaming other people, you're relinquishing the power and you're giving someone else or some exterior energy the power to determine the outcome. Whereas when you take full responsibility and you say, how could I have approached that situation better? How could I improve here? How could I have made this easier for someone else to do the work to the same standard that I would do it at? By doing that, you take your power back and you can control the outcome in the future and improve. So if you're stuck in this thought loop of blaming other people, blaming the environment, in 2026 I want you to snap out of that and start blaming yourself. As painful as it can be initially, over the long term it will make you a better person, make you a better business person, a better entrepreneur. Your skills will improve and ultimately you'll be more efficient and make more money. So it's always your fault, no one else's, especially as an entrepreneur. You have to take the blame. Take the blame with grace and think about how you can learn a lesson from the mistake. And then secondly, how you can improve going forward so that you don't make the same mistakes over and over again. So that's my 2 pence for today's video, guys. Thinking in this way has helped me so much over the years. It's helped me improve as a person, it's helped me develop my character, and it's also helped me become a better entrepreneur and make more money. It's always my fault, no one else's. And that gives me my power and allows me to improve and not make the same mistakes repeatedly. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, and you want me to help you start or scale your rent-to-rent business, I'll put a link in the video description below. Click the link, book in a call. On that call we'll have a chat, get to know each other and see if we'd be a good fit to work together. If not, that's fine too. I've got more than enough clients to work with at the moment. Keep watching the YouTube videos, keep learning and keep getting inspired by my success students. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.